Hey guys, it's Mr. Coley. Look at me, I'm using technology. Because I'm not actually there. I'm currently serendipitously at the Florida Educational Technologies Conference, which is in Orlando. Um, so the conference actually doesn't start until tomorrow, but we had to fly down. So currently, if you're watching this, it's Monday in class. So I'm currently running around Harry Potter World. Yeah, this is my wand from last time. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, I went down early because I also had to visit, Disney World. Oh, yeah, it lights up, which is pretty rad. Or cool, or yeah, whatever. But anyway, so of course, I will be gone all week, so you will be able to watch these amazing videos as well as work on some amazing stuff. And you should also be nice to your sub because I will find out, and that'll be very sad if you are mean. All right, so you guys are going to be starting a very exciting unit, which is a unit on cells. So cells obviously are super important to biology. Um, I just remember that I didn't say, like, I hope you all had a great break, because it's awesome, and your break is awesome, and everything should have been awesome. And I'm not going to re-record this because I haven't packed yet, because currently I'm still in my house, and so you're just going to have to deal with it. All right, but back to cells. Cells, as we learned the first time around, like the very beginning of the year, are the basic building blocks of life. Anything that's kind of smaller than a cell, and like less complex than a cell, I suppose you could say. Um, it's kind of weird. Is considered not alive. So the cell is basically that first stage of living matter. And so those are the building blocks, and so you add up 100 trillion cells, and you get organisms like us, right? Cells, it's really. A lot of people say that we have cells inside us, which is true. We do have cells inside us. However, it's not like we have part of our body is cells and then part of our body is not. We are made of cells. It's not like in my finger that I'm like, oh, I have cells in my finger. No. My finger is made of cells. So it's a very important distinction. We just don't have cells inside us. We are cells. We are just a bunch of like 100 trillion cells working together, communicating, doing all these crazy things. That makes us who we are. And that's true of all living organisms on the planet, whether it be the turtles, which I'm sure are making a really loud noise in the back right now, clanging against the tank, the fish, the plants growing in the tank, the bacteria that I'm sure some of you guys got sick with. All of that, all of them are cells. And so those are the basic building blocks of life. So that's what you're going to be learning about. Well, really, for several weeks. The first week, obviously, not with me there, but second best thing, me in digital format. Okay. So you should have received a super awesome packet of cells. Yes, because it is super awesome. And with that, this is going to be kind of the your guide to learning cells. So in it, you're going to have stuff on basic cell theory, the components of animal cells, the components of plant cells, prokaryotic cells, which we know as bacteria, and then also there's a page in there, I believe, on cell analogies, which we'll get to later. But really, this week, I want you guys to be focusing on the front part of the packet, which is cell theory, and then animal cells. So really, once we turn you loose, you are going to be focusing on digesting the material all the way through animal cells. Basically, what is it? You flip through It's like 5 or 6 pages until you get to, this should be like your last page here, which is the cell analogy page. And so that's Monday and Tuesday, you should get to that point. So that's your goal, is to get to that point. And the way you're going to do that is very simple. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your name on your packet. Some of you probably already did that because, that's something we've been doing since, kindergarten. But for those of you who have not done that or are not paying attention right now, someone else should elbow you and make you put your name on the packet because that's super important. Because there aren't any other extra copies. There's no one to make more copies for you. If you lose this, then you're kind of out of luck. I'll try to remember to put the digital file on my website. No guarantees, considering that it is now less than 12 hours until I leave. And I don't have anything back yet. So here's how it's going to work. The first part, you open up your cell packet and you get to this. My camera works backwards. This page right here. It says cell theory, and oh my gosh, it has writing on it. Do I expect you to read that? Yes. Read the writing. This is how it's going to work. So you read it and you're like, blah, 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 blah. Says one of the most important general principles, blah, 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 blah. So you read that. I would suggest underlining or highlighting the important material that you find in this packet because that's going to be on a quiz. Well, really, it's not a test, but it's bigger than a quiz. So I like to call them quests. And that's going to be next block period. So the next week's block day, you're going to have a quest on the material in your super awesome packet of cells. Okay? All right. So you're reading this, and then you come to this point, and it says, oh my gosh, what does it say? It says, color the heading first observed cells, title A, and the cells in the illustration, which shows quark cells as Robert Hooke drew them. All right. So then you see this other page, which is, I hope that the packet's printed right. Mine didn't print right at home on the printer, but that's special. So you have the writing on this side, and then you have the pictures on this other side. See how that says? It says cell theory up here, and then it says cell theory over here. Okay. So then you see first observed cells, and it has a star next to it. And then under that it says quark cells, and it says letter A. And then you see in the picture right here that you have A, right? And then you have all these cells. So what you're going to do is I have purchased beautiful new colored pencils that you guys should treat really well because you know how you're always whining about how I don't buy you things, but now you have them. So be nice to them, okay? So I'm going to grab some colored pencils, or I'll just grab this blue pen. Okay, let's make sure the blue pen works. All right, so what you're gonna do is you see here it says letter A, right? Quark cells. I'm gonna color the quark cells, like right here, a color. Doesn't matter. Does it matter if it's blue? No. You can color it red, purple, green, pink. I don't care. And then anything that's labeled letter A, I'm also going to color the same color as the quark cells, right? Because that's going to be very important. Color coding is super important when you're dealing with biology and all things like that, okay? So I would color all that in, so it's like red. Okay, I color all these things red, and then I color, oh, you can't see the picture. So I color all these red. All of these I color red or blue or purple. It doesn't matter as long as you choose a color and that you can still see what's under it. So don't color like I know some people color like that. Just color it so that it's colored so you see the color, but then also color it so that you can still see what's underneath it, because it doesn't really do any good if you have like a giant red blob on there, right? Okay, so you're gonna do that. Okay, then you're going to be reading, oh my gosh, reading more through here, and it says blah, blah, blah. You're reading, you're highlighting, you're underlining important things, and then it comes down to this next heading, which is here. It says color title A and the tiny animals in that drawing, which is a reproduction of Van Leeuwenhoek's drawings, okay? So what you're going to do is then you go over here, and it says, oh my gosh, microscopic animals. So I'm going to color that a different color than I colored over here. So if I colored this red, I could color this green. And then all the things that are labeled B, I could color that green too, right? Because it's B and B. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I know it'll make sense to some of you guys. And it might have already made sense to you guys, but just in case, make sure everyone understands that, because it's really important when you're coloring. Not so much on this page, because it's pretty simple, but when you get to like, oh, it's all stated, to like this page, it becomes more complex. So make sure that you guys understand how to color, right? Right? Cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other instructions I need to give you. Be nice, and make sure that you're done with everything from the animal cell, from the beginning of the packet, all the way to the cell analogy page. And then we'll do the cell analogy page on another video on another day. Okay? Sound good? Sweet. Have fun, guys. Enjoy. See you when I get back.